In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up custom fulfillment flows. So maybe you're a coach and you need to set up a custom fulfillment flow in order to make sure that you are taking your customers through all of the correct onboarding steps in your business. Or perhaps you have a unique product that requires unique and special assembly and packaging steps. So this is what this video is going to cover. I'm going to show you how to create those custom fulfillment flows. So I did touch on these briefly before, but now we're going to go into a little bit more detail. So what we're going to do is navigate to setup down here on the bottom left-hand side, and we're going to navigate to e-commerce. And then we're going to select fulfillment flows. And you'll see that we've got our shipping fulfillment flow. That is 2 steps. This fulfillment flow is default in the system and cannot be deleted, but it can be edited. But what I'm going to do is create a new flow. And to do that, I'm going to come here and click Add Fulfillment Flow. And I'm just going to call this New Flow. And then I'm going to choose what orders I would like to include in this. So you can choose if it's your checkout orders, your invoice orders, your recurring orders, and your unpaid orders. You can choose whichever of these you want. For now, I'm going to leave unpaid orders unchecked. I only want to go through this fulfillment flow if the order has been paid for already. And then I'm going to go ahead and make sure that this is published, and I'm going to hit save. So now I want to add my steps. So these are going to be the unique steps that you add to your fulfillment flow for whatever it is that you are choosing, because you can also decide which of your products use this particular fulfillment flow. And I'll get to that in a second. Let's first create our steps. So I'm going to come here and say add step. And I'm just going to call this step 1. You would give this a relevant name to this particular step. I just don't have creativity, so I'm calling it step 1. And then you would say what needs to happen within this step. I am just saying this is step 1. And then you want to choose your shipping status. I am going to move it into pending. And then I'm going to choose my order status, and it's going to be processing. Then you want to choose your staff member that is going to be in control of this particular step. So for this particular step, I'm going to go with me, just good old Gil Bates. He is going to be the one in charge of processing step 1. Then I'm going to go ahead and hit save. I then want to go ahead and add a second step. And again, I'm just hitting add step. I'm going to say step 2. Again, the required action, this is step 2. Once again, this would be relevant to whatever your step 2 actually is. I'm then going to change my shipping status to shipped. We just completely skipped over the packing and processing part of it. It's shipped. And then our order status is ready. And then the staff member I'm going to use, we have a new staff member in the system. I would like you to welcome Perry Lage into the team. So Perry Lage is going to be the user who gets this particular step. But I'm also going to ensure that Gil Bates is able to see that second step as well. So I'm going to go ahead and make those 2 staff users able to view step 2, and I'm going to hit save. So now I do want to check this actually. Ready? Yes, okay. So now what I want to do is create a product in the system that makes use of this new fulfillment flow that we have just created. So I'm going to navigate over to my products by clicking on products over here on the left-hand side. And I'm going to create a new product. So adding a new product, and I'm going to call this, not new product, I want to call this flow product. And then I'm going to give it a price of $300 and leave the rest the same and hit save. So now what I want to do is come to my advanced settings here on the right-hand side, and I'm going to select fulfillment flow. I'm then going to come here to my fulfillment flow settings in the product, and I'm going to select that fulfillment flow that I want to be linked to this particular product. And you'll see that then I am able to see the steps of that particular fulfillment flow. All right, I'm then going to go ahead and hit save. So now what I want to do is go and place an order for this product and show you the fulfillment flow process within the system. So let's navigate over to orders here on the left-hand side. I'm going to create a new invoice, and I'm going to add my first invoice again, Betty White, our most faithful and loyal customer. I'm then going to add a product, and I'm going to add the flow product. And I want to go ahead and just simply add my product as well. So you can see the difference between the flow product and a normal product without a custom fulfillment flow. I'm then going to go ahead and collect the payment for this order, create the order, and that will then have moved into the sales section over here. Now you'll see that I'm able to access the entire section of this order, but if I come here to my flows, so top right hand side, and I change my flow and I select the new flow, you'll see that I'm able to see each of these flow steps. So in step 2 there's nothing, but in step 1 I have this order. So I want to go and log in as Parry. So I'm just going to navigate over to his area quickly. All right, and I'm going to log in as Parry at demo.com. He also has that very super secure password. And Parry can see everything, but I want to change his view as well to the flow view. And you'll see that Parry currently cannot see anything. He doesn't have any access to any steps because that order is still in step 1 of this new flow. And Parry only has access to the second step of that fulfillment flow. So I'm going to navigate back to my area and I'm going to go ahead and process this step of the order. So I'm going to click in and I'm going to process it. So that has now moved into step 2. So now when I navigate back to Parry's area and I refresh this, you'll see that Parry now has access to step 2 of that fulfillment flow. And you'll see that it's paid, it's ready, it's shipped, and now we want to go ahead and process this step 2. So when I go ahead and process this, it will then be complete and moved out of this fulfillment flow. So you'll see here as well, we have that activity of Gil Bates fulfilled step 1 requirements. And now Parry needs to go ahead and fulfill step 2 requirements. So Parry is going to go ahead and process step 2. That is now moved out of the sales flow, and I can exit out of the sales flow and view that order. So it has now been paid, fulfilled, and there's no shipping. So this order has been fully processed. If I click in here, you'll also see that activity again, Parry Lage fulfilled step 2 requirements. And one thing that you may have noticed is that the My product never showed up in either of those fulfillment flows. It was only the flow product that showed up in those flows because that is the only product that this flow applied to. So this product was already sorted out. It didn't need to go through that fulfillment process. Only the flow product needed to go through that. So that is how you can create custom fulfillment flows in the system. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to filter through your orders. I'll see you there.